as I walk along here, I'm going to share with you something that I learned in my investigative reports. Is these older ships, as they went out of Coos Bay, they were carrying lumber with them and they were heading for distant ports. But there were also bigger, newer ships returning in our modern times, current times, and that's what we're going to turn our attention to now. These great big ships could not travel across the water, the seas empty. And so they carried water in their containers. They called this ballast water, and this ballast water helps to stabilize these ships, but not water alone came in these ballast water tanks, and we're going to learn about that a little bit here. I want to share with you that these ships went all over the world, and we've got a map here that will show you as the viewers how intense these travels were. So when you see the red lines, those are frequencies of ships. So many times that ships are coming into port, and you can see that those lines really connect the entire globe. So they bring waters from everywhere, and you can see that Empire, Oregon is located right along one of those trade routes. So we have many different species that come into Coos Bay, and some of those have actually found a home here. So we're going to learn about that next. Hi. I want to welcome, this is Allie Helms. Hi, Allie.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, Allie. And you've got a couple young ladies with you. These are, as I understand it, the Invader Raiders, right? Tell me your name.
Amy.
All right.
Ashley.
Ashley, very good. And you're going to tell me about this item that you have in your hand. What do you have there?
A plankton net. I'm going to describe it for you. What we have is the foot on the top, and then this long thing right here is called the mesh, and down here is called the sample bottle, where you collect all the samples of the plankton.
All right, very good. And so these plankton are in the water, that you sample them with that net. And why is that important?
Because, first of all, plankton are plant animals that carry the invaders, and the invaders land on our shores, and what they do is that they'll breed and they'll kill like domestic animals.
So we have these invaders that are coming in the water, and they're microscopic at this point. We can't see them,
yeah,
but they won't necessarily always stay so. Allie, you've got a microscope here. We have a sample in there?
I do, yeah. Let's take a look and see.
All right,
the diversity
let's have a look.
And plants we have right out here in the bay. Let me just focus this.
All right.
Wow, there are some curious creatures in here. Take a look, take a look. I think they're swimming pretty fast, but I was able to make out a barnacle nauplius and a copepod. And this copepod actually started out as a nauplius, and it's going to spend its life in the plankton, but the barnacle nauplius needs to find a home. It needs to settle out, and it might be able to do that here on various substrates.
So, Allie, can you tell me, are these invasive species?
Some of them might be. I'm not able to identify these particular species, but there are invasive barnacles that are in the estuary.
All right, so these invasive species, at this point, they're pretty hard to tell, I would guess. They're larvae, they're the young.
The larvae, yeah. A lot of times you have to have the adults to be able to identify them.
So I think what we're going to do, Allie, is we're going to move on down the line here a little bit and see what happens when they grow up a little bit. All right, thank you very much. And please join me back at our office, my office, so that we may have some questions from our viewers about you.
Okay.
All right, thanks. All right, so we're moving down the line here. And the Invader Raiders are a group of local students that have been getting involved in learning about these invasive species and what they can do. So here are a couple of Invader Raiders now. Tell me your name.
Cameron.
All right. And Cameron, you have for us a, what do you have there?
A Rydal salmon plate who hasn't got put in the water yet.
Oh, okay, so this is a fresh settlement plate, nothing on it.
Nope.
Okay, what do you have in the bucket? Can we see that?
It's a Rydal salmon plate who got put in for 1 month.
Okay, so your class put this out in the bay for 1 month, and what's growing on it?
Well, we found some plankton, animal plankton, plant plankton. There's just algae on there, no barnacles or anything else.
Oh, okay, so this thing has just started to collect animals that are settling out of the bay. Is that right?
Yeah.
And do we know whether there are any invasive species here?
No.
So we've got to look a little bit more. It looks pretty slimy to me, but it doesn't look like much is growing there yet that we can really identify. Is that true?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Cameron. We're going to meet another Invader Raider. What's your name, young lady?
Emily.
All right, Emily. Let's see what you've got in the cooler there, Emily. I suspect that it's going to look a little different than what Cameron had.
Yes, it does. It was put in 6 months later.
Oh, okay. Let's hold that up. Oh my gosh! So these are the aliens that invade Empire?
No, some of them are native.
some of these are native. Oh, okay, so we don't need to be so alarmed. But what we've got here, show me what some of these creatures are.
We have a sea anemone and tunicate and mussels and algae and barnacles and all different kinds of things.
Wow, and I can see some movement in there too. So some of these creatures are actually moving and living, right?
Yes.
All of them are probably alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we don't know if these are invasive yet.
No.
More science needed?
Yes.
You guys gonna keep it up?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.